All right, everybody, what is going on today? It's been a minute. It's been a minute because last week I was not able to do a show because I was in Statesboro. I was doing my thing watching the Georgia Southern Eagles practice, and it was a pretty good looking practice. I really enjoyed it. And today I'm actually home because I was supposed to go down there again, but had a little family outing that we did yesterday, and that family outing kind of threw everything off as far as me going out of town. And it was for the best because hanging out with family is always awesome. It's one of the best things that you can do. And if you have the time or the chance to do that, spend time with your family, even if you don't have that immediate family. Your friends that are close to you are your family, and just create moments with them. And it was a really good time. I mean, sometimes I forget how big my wife's family is. I mean, she has a huge family. I thought my family was big, but no, she got me beat. And it was just amazing because of the fact that, you know, every time I go out there to see her family or whatever the case may be, I always find or see somebody new, somebody different. And it's just amazing to see, and it's a beautiful thing. It's always a beautiful thing. So that's a whole nother story for another day. At the end of the day, just take the time out and meet up with your people. You never know what they might be going through or whatever the case may be. All right, this is episode 236 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. I thank everybody who has been supporting the channel. I mean, we made it over 800 subs, and it's all thanks to you guys. It's not just me, and it's not only me. I'm just here just making the content. You guys are the ones that are deciding to watch, deciding to rate this channel, decide to give feedback in the comment section. You guys make this go, and it is a beautiful thing. I really, really appreciate that. Without you guys, none of this will go nowhere near the way it is. All right, today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be looking at some of the preseason games. We're going to recap the preseason games, talk a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons. Also, I'm going to go look into some of the Georgia Southern scrimmage, and I'm going to give my thoughts about Madden NFL 22 that just dropped. And I think I'm really big on this game, and I'm gonna let you guys know why in a few seconds. Um, it's just a good thing, and I don't know where really to start. I don't know if I want to start with the preseason games, if I want to start with Madden, or I want to start with Georgia Southern. But what I will say real quick, I will get more into this. As I said, I'm going to talk about this in a second. Madden NFL 22 is a pretty decent game, and I'm going to dwell on that a little bit later, but it's a pretty decent game. I'm thoroughly enjoying the game, and I think for the free trial, if you have EA Play, I think it's definitely worth the play. And I'm going to get more into that down the road. Thank you, Sweet Jones, for being on the in the chat. You guys, I mean, you are awesome. You always come through to support. Check out his channel. He has a channel as well, and he does his thing on Twitch. It's not hard to find his information. Just go over there and look up Sweet Jones. It should pop right on up. Good content over there that he does as well. I guess we can start talking about the preseason games. I did a video about the Atlanta Falcons, so I will get back into that. I'm gonna double back on that on the end of these other games. We're going to talk about those, and it's just good to have football back. It's really good to have football back, and some of the quality of the football has actually been pretty decent overall. Some of the rookies are shining; they're looking pretty good as well, and at the end of the day, you want to see what these new guys can do. You want to see what they do when they're put in certain positions. It's just a beautiful thing. And I'm going to go back and talk about the Cowboys and Steelers. Didn't get too much out of that game. Dak Prescott didn't play. I saw a few plays from, what's his name? Dwayne Haskins. He didn't look as crisp as I thought he would. And it's just a shame that he could be so much, but it looks like he's going to be in the falling off. I don't see him getting any better. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, it's preseason, so it's not too much to judge on, but it is a situation where you can look at it and be like, all right, wait a minute, it's just something really weird about preseason. And I mean, it's definitely when it comes to my Falcons, which I'll get into shortly. The Steelers end up winning that game 16-3. I want to look at a little bit of stats. Even though it doesn't matter much when it comes to the stat line or whatever the case may be. And I mean, even though Dwayne Haskins ended up being 18-13, the 54 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, it's just when I saw him, it just didn't. He didn't look as comfortable as I thought it'd be. And I think that's one thing mostly about the preseason. You want to have a situation where these guys are comfortable. You want to see if they're executing. You want to see if they're in the right position to make plays. It's not necessarily about, hey, are these guys going to go straight up ball out? I mean, some guys have that talent. That's just the way it is. And, it's just, that's how, especially when you have the first, second rounders come in and play, if they do play in the preseason, you expect those guys to stand out. One thing about the preseason, though, the preseason has a way to just have guys that are no names, guys you may not know, guys who are just trying to make the team, and they're just going out there to give them their all. In some cases, they're putting on a show for other teams as well, because knowing that they may be going out there and they know they're not going to make the team because of the roster spot, and some coaches give them a good solid to say, hey, look, you go out here, I'm going to show you what you can do. Well, show me what you can do. Put yourself on tape. And with that being said, you being on tape is going to be putting yourself out there for other teams to watch you. It's just one of the beautiful things when you try to have an eye for talent. And a regular normie like myself, I'm not this big person that's on the YouTubes that's a more or less a expert at this, but I do have an eye test for certain things that I see. And I see some players that stand out, some players that I can see that, hey, they could do something. It's just something that over the years you come through watching stuff like this, you find a way to not only just see who stands out and who does what. It's where that you just find this fascinating throughout the seasons or that come through every year. Outside of Dwayne Haskins, Najee Harris did play as well. Najee Harris had 7 carries for 22 yards, 3.1 yard a carry. Not too bad for your debut on preseason. 7 carries is very modest for a first round pick like that. Did a pretty good job of not really putting himself out there to try to do too much. It was pretty solid. Couple of other players, Claypool had 3 catches for 62 yards. But for the most part, I'm going to jump over to the Cowboys and see what they did. Like I said, Dak Prescott did not play. Garrett Gilbert played 9 of 13, 104. Also, you had a couple of players running the ball. Rico Dowell ran the ball 8 for 43, had 5.4 yards per carry, which is pretty decent. Outside of that, I didn't see nothing that really stood out. I mean, outside of just what the Steelers did, that's basically what was on my mind, what I saw. And with with the Cowboys, I'm looking at the defense. The defense didn't do too much of anything that made me, stand out and say, hey, these guys are doing something really nice. Micah Parsons had 3 tackles. Jabril Cox had 3 tackles. Nothing that really stood out. So it was very bland in that preseason game, in my opinion. Washington and the Patriots, they played each other. The Patriots beat Washington 22-13. One thing I definitely want to see, I'm looking at Mac Jones, 13 of 19, 87 yards. Cam Newton also came in at 4 for 7 for 49 yards. Ramon Stevenson had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns running the ball, so that's interesting. I did not watch this game, so I don't know when those yards came about. Could be garbage time, could be later on in the game. You just never know when you're not watching the game. We're just looking at the stat line. But that's pretty impressive nonetheless. Get over 100 yards in a preseason game. As far as the rest of the team, Nothing really stands out. Once again, it's just preseason. You really have to do the eye test to see some of the stuff. Steven Montez, 17 of 24, 108, one touchdown, one interception. Did not have he had a touchdown, but did throw a pick. Taylor Heineke, 9 of 15, 86. Fitzpatrick, 5 of 8, 58. Look, all those quarterbacks had a solid performance. Not too bad at all. Running backs didn't do too much. Jarrett Patterson had 10 carries for 40. I don't see anything that stands out. Once again, Logan Thomas, former quarterback for Virginia Tech, he had one catch for 24 yards. Like I said, I don't see anything else out here. Like I said, it's just preseason. Going over here, the Steelers played their second game this week. Played against the Eagles. Steelers beat the Eagles 24-16. Dwayne Haskins did a lot better this time around. I said this earlier based on what I saw the first game. It looked like he did not have his bearings, but this go round looked like he's done a fairly good job. 16 to 22, 161 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. Now, the thing about the Steelers is the Steelers has a leg up on everybody because they played an extra game. So you're going to get more exposure out there when it comes to certain players. Certain players are going on their second preseason game. They're probably going to get more playing time or whatever the case may be. So Dwayne Haskins had a much better outing. Mason Rudolph, 8 of 9 for 77 yards. Josh Dobbs, 5 of 6 for 30. I think he threw an interception in the last game, and he threw another one in this one. Don't quote me on that. Torrey Brooks James, 9 of 51, 5.7 yards a carry. Jalen Samuels ran the ball pretty well once again. You also have some receivers. Let's see. Rico Bussey was the leading receiver. Juju Smith-Schuster actually played. He had 3 catches for 22 yards. Najee Harris, he had 2 carries for 10 yards, also had 1 catch for 9 yards. Defensively, nothing once again stands out. Justin Lane did have a pick, so that's good to see. Lafayette Pitts also had a pick, so that's always good to see. In the preseason, that gets your name out there. Nick Mullins threw both of the picks for the Eagles. And he threw both 1 of 5, 4 yards, 2 interceptions. Well, I don't know what's going on with Nick Mullins, but that doesn't look good. Jalen Hurts, 3 of 7 for 54. Joe Flacco stood out with 10 of 17, 178, 1 touchdown. Quez Watkins had 1 touchdown catch for 79 yards. Dallas Goedert had 1 catch for 34. Looks like the offense did okay. Kenneth Gainwell had 2 for 14. Jason Huntley had 4 for 15. Kerryon Johnson, I'm surprised that he's an Eagle. I didn't know he was an Eagle. Jordan Howard's back on the team as well, but nothing stands out. Once again, I mean, quarterback play is going to look a little different because more players going to be on the. They're going to have more playing time, but it's good to see what's going on there. Let's see. Don't want to get into too much any of these other games. Titans and Falcons. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit later. Bills beat the Lions 16-15. Cowboys and Cardinals. Cowboys, this their second game. Not too much exposure for any player for the most part, unlike the last game I talked about. Also, you had the Bills versus Lions. The Dolphins played the Bears 13-20. The Bears beat the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa had 8 of 11 for 99 yards. He did throw a pick. Jacoby Brissett had 6 of 10. Reed Sinnett had 6 of 10 as well. Justin Fields came out at 14-20, 142 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So that looks really good for him. Nick Foles only threw the ball 3 times with 1 for 3, and Andy Dalton threw the ball 4 times, 2 for 4. Justin Fields also ran 5 carries for 33 yards, also had a touchdown. Looking really good over there with Justin Fields. A lot of people are already saying that, hey, these guys in Atlanta should have drafted Justin Fields, but for what we see now, that wasn't the case. That wasn't in the cards for Arthur Smith and company. And us as Falcons fans are probably going to hear this the entire year. That's probably just going to be the case. So with that being said, just be prepared for that. Let's see. I don't see anything else that stood out. Justin Hardy had a catch, former Falcon. Chris Lacey, nothing else stood out really. Artavius Pierce actually played 5 carries for 50 yards. Ryan, no. And you came up here to come downstairs, baby? All right, just give me a second. I'll take you downstairs. You come upstairs to come downstairs. That's my son, everybody. You gotta love him. He does this every time. All right. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Let me take a quick break real quick and I'll see you guys in a second. You a mess, boy. That's my baby. Love him to death. Love him to death. Got to love him to death, right? All right, let's get back to it. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Back to this. Look at the. Don't see anything else on the Bears that I saw. All right, Dolphins. Once again, Tua threw a pick. I'm looking at anything else. The receivers might just I can't pronounce his name right. Jasicki, 2 catches for 52 yards. Lynn Bowden had 4 for 47. Savon Ahmed had 1 for 50. So it's nothing really standing out. Once again, Duke Riley played, former Falcon, had 4 tackles, 2 assisted. Nothing else out there. Let's go to the next game and let's see. Broncos and Vikings. Broncos beat up on the Vikings 33-6. Teddy Bridgewater, 7 of 8, 74 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Drew Lock, 5 of 7, 151, 2 touchdowns. That's going to be a really good quarterback battle right there. It's going to be a really good quarterback battle. Because with that being said, both of these guys are playing pretty good. Drew Lock, I mean, another year under his belt. Teddy Bridgewater's always been efficient. So that's going to be really interesting to see throughout the season. Just something to watch. Javonte Williams, the freshman, the rookie out of North Carolina, had 5 carries for 29 yards. Royce Freeman, 5 carries for 33. KJ Hamler had 2 catches for 105. 1 was a touchdown. Trinity Benson. Jarrett Judy had 1 catch for 33. Trinity Benson had 4 catches for 36, had 2 touchdowns. As far as the defense goes, didn't see anything that stood out. Patrick Surtain did have an interception, so that's good to see. As a rookie, you want to see that. You definitely want to see that. So good job by them. As far as the Vikings go, who was with the quarterback? Kellen Mond played. Jake Browning played. Kellen Mond, 16, 53 yards. Asim Rose, I think I'm going to say that right, 25 carries for 100 yards. So they gave him the ball a lot for this game. That's a lot. Didn't see anything that stood out on my end. I'm looking at the defense. Once again, there's just nothing there. Nothing there, but it's just a lot of things on defense. Just don't see. Saints and Ravens. I watched a little bit of this game. 14-17, the Ravens beat the Saints. The Saints were up on them at the time. Looked like every quarterback on the Saints threw a pick. Ian Book, Taysom Hill, and Jameis Winston threw a pick. He did throw a touchdown pass. I did manage to catch that touchdown pass. It was a pretty good throw. 8-12, 81 yards for Taysom Hill. 7-12, 96 yards for Jameis Winston. Ian Book, 9-16, 126. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't think their quarterback situation is going to be as dire as we think. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a pretty decent outing for their quarterbacks. And I don't think they're going to be anywhere close to what they used to be. But I don't think it's going to be a horrible nightmare like our backups did in preseason for the Falcons. But, we'll get to that shortly. I noticed that the Saints has a lot of big receivers that are trying to play some football. I mean, little Jordan Humphrey got some height on him. Juwan Johnson is another one. So be on the lookout for that. Devontae Freeman actually played, had 6 carries for 6 yards. The former Falcon. Torrey Jones was the one that carried the most, 7 carries for 82. Looking at the defense here, Nothing stands out. Once again, like the preseason, nothing really stands out when it comes to defense. Tyler Huntley and Trace McSorley played quarterback for the Ravens. Tyler Huntley looked pretty good, 12 of 16, 79 yards. Trace McSorley, 11 for 18, 86. He did throw a pick. As far as the running game, nothing really stands out in the running game. Nothing stands out in the passing game. The running game was a little bit different. Tyler Huntley also ran for 43 yards. Tyson Williams ran for 41. And J.K. Dobbins had 3 carries for no yards. Let's look at something else. Let's see. Browns and Jaguars, 23-13. First and foremost, we're going to look at Trevor Lawrence, 69 to 71 yards. C.J. Beathard, 13 to 16 for 102. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Let's see. No need to respect the old. He's still recovering, getting punched by his wife. I see that. Hey man, look, hey Dwayne Haskins, you know. Let me change that live chat. Gardner Minshew actually played as well. So I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be the starter, but at the end of the day, we're looking at a situation with Trevor Lawrence where he's going to be the starter. James Robinson, the highlight of the Jaguars last year, had 3 of 13. Travis Etienne had 1 carry for 2 yards. Farrell Cooper, so I didn't know that. I don't see anything coming from Travis Etienne in a passing game because I thought they were going to use him in the passing game as well. No Tim Tebow sighting. I did see 1 clip of him trying to block somebody, but that's another story for another day. I'm not going to get into that. Nothing really shining on the Jaguars. The Browns, you had Case Keenum and Kyle Latua playing. And let's see. I think I said that. Oh, Laletta, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. 19 to 27, 212, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Devon Davis and Ryan Switzer. Wow, I forgot about him. But both of them caught the touchdown passes. The running game just looked really bad right here. I'm not going to think that this is an indictment of what they're going to be in their season. Obviously not. But there was nothing to see on the running game. Nothing to really see on the passing game either. Nothing really stands out. Defensively, I don't see anything either. JLK had 7 tackles, 1 assisted tackle, and 1 sack. Richard LeCount had an interception. That's good to see the former Bulldog get an interception, so that's good. Bengals and Buccaneers. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady did not play. No, he did not. We had Blaine Gabbert. Kyle Trask actually played. Oh, Tom Brady did play. 1 of 2 of 9 yards. Ryan Griffin had 2 interceptions. Kyle Trask, 4 of 15 for 35 yards. Oh, my God. Kyle Trask. All right. I saw that failed block on Tebow. Oh, my God. That was terrible. Hey, I saw that. I was like, what in the world was that? Hey, man. Hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. Hey, that was terrible. Leonard Fournette had 2 carries for 2 yards. O.J. Howard. I wanted to see how well this kid's going to be. But he had 1 catch for 15. For the Bengals, Brandon Allen has 7 for 10 for 77 yards. Kyle Sherman had 12 for 19. Nothing standing out. Jacquizz Patrick had 15 carries for 71. Nothing in the passing game. I saw Jamar Chase did get 1 catch for 16 yards. So that's good to see. T. Higgins, Thaddeus, Moss, Tyler Boyd. They got a pretty good receiving core. It looks pretty good. On the defense, I didn't see nothing that stand out. Nothing stands out at all. Let's see. Jets played the Giants 12-7. Zach Wilson, 69 to 63 yards. That's good to see. Michael Piron had 12 for 30. I don't see anything there that stands out either. The Giants, Mike Glennon did play. So Mike Glennon signed at 3 of 7 at 20 yards. Clayton Thorson, 5 of 16, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. Let's see. Nothing else there that I see that stands out. Texas played the Packers. Okay. Texas played the Packers. Tyrod Taylor was 4 for 4. Jeff Driscoll actually played. Davis Mills got to play. Davis Mills is a guy that I was high on ever since he left Georgia, well, the state of Georgia, to go to Stanford. Now he's playing for the Texans. 11 to 22, 112 and 1 pick. Not good numbers right there, but we'll see, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the running to try to get that job. No real word on what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. That's turning into a mess. It really is. As far as everybody else on the team, Scotty Phillips had 13 carries. Hardy Nickerson had 3 tackles. Tremont Smith had an interception. Outside of that, I don't see anything that stands out. Packers wise, Jordan Love, 12 of 17, 122. Kurt Benkert, former Falcon, 12 of 18 for 1 interception. Nothing really here. Devin Funchess had 6 catches for 70 yards, so that looks pretty good. That's pretty good. Amari Rogers actually played. AJ Dillon had a carry, and he had 1 reception. Defensively, Kevon Ito had an interception, but nothing else really stands out. Josh Jackson led with 5 tackles. Chiefs and Niners. Let's see. The Chiefs. Let's see. Andy Gordon played quarterback, 11 to 17, 79 yards. Chad Henne sighting, 6 of 9, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes threw 2 passes, 1 pass for 4 yards. Jarrett McKinnon, the former Georgia Southern standout. Shout out to Jarrett McKinnon. 3 carries for 19 yards, 6.3 yards a carry. He also had 2 catches for 21 yards. So he's representing very well. Good to see that. Let's see. I don't see anything else that stands out here. Everybody else had 1 catch here. As far as the defense, nothing stands out there. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Yusuk Unite, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, let's look at the 49ers. We have Trey Lance actually played 5 of 14, 128. A lot of that came off that 80-yard throw. But 5 of 14 is not good, but he'll get better. Josh Rosen sighting, 10 of 15, 19 yards. He did throw a pick. Jimmy Garoppolo, 3 of 3 for 26. As far as running the ball, Jermichael Hasty, 10 carries for 63 yards. Didn't see anything else that stood out. December Webster had 1 carry for 34. Okay. Trey Sermon, 9 carries for 26, and not the best. Trent Shetfield, the one who caught the touchdown from Trey Lance, was 1 of 80, so he only had caught that 1 catch. Jawan Jennings had 1 for 26. Deebo Samuels had 1 of 3. As far as the defense, you had Demore Lenore had 1 interception. So that pretty much was it on that one. Let's jump to the next game, Seahawks and Raiders. That's my second team. I like the Raiders. I've always been somewhat of a fan of the Raiders when the Falcons was not playing. Sean Mannion played, so last 7-11 for 34. Geno Smith. Whoa, Geno Smith is still on the team for the Seahawks? Wow. 4 of 10 for 46. Alex McGough had 1, he threw 1 touchdown pass, but he had 6 of 10 for 54 yards. McGough also ran for 25 yards as well. Josh Johnson had 3 of 11. DJ Dallas, what a name, had 5 for 24. I don't see anything else that stands out here as far as the running game goes. Let's see. Passing, DJ Dallas also had 2 catches for 45. He had a touchdown catch. As far as the defense, Trey Flowers had 3 tackles. Ryan Neal had an interception. Let's look at the Raiders. All right, Trey Ragas. Let me tell you something about Trey Ragas. Trey Ragas is a running back that played for Louisiana. I watched him play against Georgia Southern. This kid could be something special. He's pretty good. I've always was a fan of him, even when they played against us at Georgia Southern. Played against us, so I'm glad that he's getting some shine in the NFL. As far as everybody else, Nathan Peterman, 29 of 39, 246. He threw a pick. You know how that goes. Bo Scarborough had 4 carries for 10 yards. Let me see what else I see. I don't see anything else that stands out. Nothing else that stands out at all. So with that being said, I'm going to go to the next one. Let's see. Who else played? Where am I? Okay, the last game we had, which well, not the last game. As of this recording, the last game we had the Chargers and Raiders. Your chairs, your truck is downstairs. All right, I'll get it because I know you're just gonna want to go right back downstairs. So give me a second. Let's go to the Chargers and Rams. LA Chargers played the LA Rams. Chase Daniel actually had to play 15 to 24 for 104. Easton Stick 7 to 7 for 63. That is interesting. Really interesting to see. Nothing else really stands out. I don't see, especially in the receiver side. Nobody caught a touchdown. A lot of short passes. Looks pretty good. Justin Jackson had 5 carries for 13 yards. Larry Rountree II had 8 carries for 63. Nothing else out here. Asante Samuel had had 3 tackles. John Brandon III had 1 interception. That's pretty much it for that. We do have another game that's going to be later on. As of this record today at 1 o'clock, the Panthers play the Colts. Come here. Come here. Come here. Get from over there. Let me guess. You're stuck now. You can't get out. All right. Hold on 1 second, everybody. There, you can play right there. There you go. I don't want you to get stuck over there, baby. Yeah, I don't want you to get stuck over there. All right, so like I said, the last game that we have is the Panthers and the Colts. They play at 1 o'clock. I expect to see Sam Darnold play a little bit. And the Colts, I mean, they have a quarterback problem, so I don't know who's going to be playing over there, Jacob Eason or Sam Ellinger. I don't know. It's a really big situation because Carson Wentz is still down. Don't know how that's going to play out, so we'll see how that goes. Let's jump into the Falcons real quick. The Falcons, oh boy, I talked about this on my last video. Nothing on my end really stood out as far as the offense. Felipe Franks and AJ McCarron were basically running for their lives. The offensive line was just not doing good at all. So with that being said, they were in a situation where they had to run every time they hiked the ball. So that was not a good look for them. But at the end of the day, it's preseason, and the offensive line has to do what they have to do. And with that being said, they're gonna have a lot of work to do. A lot of personnel changes gonna have to be done on the right side of the offensive line, and it's going to be a long road to see how that's going to play out. Come here, son. Come here. You want to go back downstairs? Okay. I'm gonna take a break and we'll go downstairs. And I just think at the end of the day, it's just going to be a long road for the offensive line. The defense was fine. Did not have a problem with the defense at all. The defense did really good as far as getting some sacks, breaking up some passes. They did what they're supposed to do overall. I love the blitz packages. They look really good. They look really, really good. And at the end of the day, I'm going to touch on that in a second. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to take my son downstairs once again. Give me 1 second. All right, give me 1 second, baby. I got you. All right, I'm back. Had the music playing a little bit. I didn't know it was going to play, but that's cool. Nevertheless, let's get back into the defense. The defense is looking really good. I like what Dean Pease have done. Dean Pease done a fairly good job as far as getting these guys in order, getting the guys in position to do a lot. I think, let's see, defensively. Let me look. Defensively, we had 1, 2, 3. We got to the quarterback 3 times, not to mention how many times we hurried them. But the thing is, if you can't get anything out of your offense, at the end of the day, the defense can't hold up for so long. It's kind of one of the situations we had when we was playing against the it's kind of one of the situations we had when we was playing when Georgia Southern was playing last year. The offense just couldn't do nothing for the defense, and that's just in all aspects of football. It just happens that way. If you can't get anything together when it comes to when it comes to the on offense, the defense only gonna hold up for so long. I like the scramble by Felipe Franks. I like what they tried to do with the running game to start off. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to get the quarterback some time in the pocket to throw the ball. Adrian McCarron throws a pick. Felipe Franks went 2 of 9 for 16 yards, a couple of drop passes. But there's really no excuse. At the end of the day, we're going to have to do something with the offensive line. And I know it's just one game or whatever the case may be, but we're going to have to do something about that because we just can't have that going on all the time. It's just something that's just not going to be happening when it comes to actually playing some football. And you just have to, in the trenches, it's just going to have to happen. On the opposite side of the defensive linemen, they're looking pretty good. I cannot complain with any of that. And I think it's not an indictment on how this game played out overall. We just saw what happened when you have the offensive line or the trenches is not holding up for you. I don't care how good your quarterback is, it's just not going to do any good. When it comes to the Titans, Logan Woodside, 10 of 15, 84 yards, threw a touchdown. Matt Barkley also threw a touchdown. Mekhi Sargent actually was able to run the ball pretty decent, 16 carries for 58. Darion Evans had 4 carries for 26 yards, 6.5 yards a carry. He had one good run to start off. I think that was the one that set off the 26 yards. So it wasn't too much of a big deal as far as him actually carrying. It was only 4 carries. I think, what was that receiver? Was it Kinsey? I think it was Kinsey. He was the one that was like really catching the ball pretty well. Didn't get a touchdown, but he did pretty good to get open a few times. Defensively, I didn't see much on the Titan side defensively at all. At the end of the day, it was just a bunch of guys just getting through that right side. Wyatt Ray, 1.5 on the sacks. Rashad Weaver also had 1.5 on the sacks. I cannot pronounce his name. Olaskin Kami Adenshi, I think that's right. He had a sack as well. So it was something to see. David Long had the interception. As far as the Falcons go, like I said, the Falcons, Dorian Etheridge had 13 total tackles. I mean, he's the one that stood out. Also saw Richie Grant do some good things. Jalen Hawkins had the sack as well. Antetokounmpo Ogundeji, I could say that name. He looked pretty good as well. So that was a pretty good look right there. So at the end of the day, not the Georgia Southern one. At the end of the day, the Falcons are looking good, and I like what I see. At the end of the day, we're going to have to get better on the offensive line. I think once that happens, I think everything is going to be fine, and I don't think it's anything to really, hang your hat on because it's the first game of preseason. But when it comes to this game, this is the team that stands out the most for me, and I watch them and I listen to what's going on with the team, and I give a report as well. So, with that being said, we'll see how things play out. It's going to be really fun to see for the rest of the season. I cannot wait to see how that goes. Let's jump over to Georgia Southern. I'm going to go over there to them, and we're going to talk about their scrimmage. Once again, preseason is starting, and with that being said, preseason has started for the college football teams. And right now, Georgia Southern is going through the scrimmage. If you're not really familiar with this team, I advise you to get familiar. This is a fun team to watch. It's a fun team to actually follow. And this is my team right here. I mean, I love them ever since I've been young. So this is the way to go. Let's get right into this. Scrimmage started. The number one offense against the number one defense. Touchdown pass, Justin Tomlin threw to Caleb Hood on the first play. Amari Jones had 5 yards rushing, and also, let's see, they had another touchdown where Justin Tomlin handed the ball off to J.D. King. J.D. King, my favorite, well, probably is my favorite Georgia Southern Eagle right now, behind Cameron Ransom, but that's another story for another day. Second team comes in against the second team defense, 6 plays. Cameron Ransom handed the ball off to Jordan Pearson for a touchdown. So that's really good to see. So I didn't say, I guess it was a 20-yard run. I didn't say, but got a touchdown on that play as well. All right, then we jump over to the third string, goes up against the third string defense. What's his name? Sam Kinderson completes a pass to Jeremy Horton. Didn't say anything outside of that, so looks like the offense is just rolling right along. Number one offense against the number one defense once again. Justin Tomlin pitches the ball off to Caleb Hood, and he gets another touchdown, runs it in for 66 yards. Then the second team versus the second offense versus second defense. Looks like Tyler Bride, defensive back for Georgia Southern, really good player, got the interception, a long pass. I'm guessing that Cameron Ransom threw that ball. But nevertheless, we got some defensive play right here. The defense is doing what they do, and it gets an interception. Third offense going against the third string defense. Got 3 plays on this. Let's see. Who's this? Justin Myers. He breaks up a pass, free safety. Breaks up a pass that was thrown by Amari Jones. And Davian Rhodes gets a sack, defensive end out of Georgia Southern as well. So the defense is stepping up once again. All right, let's look at, once again, here's another series right here. First offense versus first defense. 6 plays on this one, but the one that stands out, Justin Tomlin threw a pass to, who is this? Don't get me to start lying. Let me find out right now, because his Twitter handle is a little different. Emil Smith. Sorry about that. Emil Smith caught the ball for 13 yards. All right, now the third string offense comes back out. And let's see. Then we had Sam Kinderson with a 13-yard run. First offense jumps in with the first string defense once again. Justin Tomlin with his third touchdown pass. He throws it to Bo Johnson, the tight end for Georgia Southern. Bo Johnson looks really good. I watched Bo Johnson in practice, and the practice I went to last week, and he looked really, really good. I was highly impressed on how good he looked. And he was open a lot during practice when they did their little small lineups and scrimmage last week. So that's another touchdown pass to Bo Johnson. Jalen White, this guy here is a beast. I did a video on him. You might want to go check that out. I think this kid is the next thing coming. He is he's nice. Runs the ball for 12 yards for a touchdown. Last year during scrimmage, he ran the ball like 60-something yards. He's a hard man to bring down. So I want to see him touch the ball a lot. Second string versus second string defense, offense versus defense. Fumble recovered by Justin Birdsong. Big time play by Justin Birdsong. He was really good in the R&L Carrier New Orleans Bowl last year. Let's see. We got Kerryon Smith. Defensive lineman gets a tackle. Cameron Ransom ran in for a touchdown. Here's another series right here. Third string versus third string. 18-yard pass from Sam Kinderson to Andrew Douglas. Andrew Douglas gets a catch as well. Didn't say it was a touchdown or not. Second string offense versus second string defense. We have Cameron Ransom with the 26-yard pass to Caleb Hood and a 40-yard run by Terrion Dixon. So pretty good plays right there for the second string. third string offense versus third string defense. I think this was the last drive of the game. Amari Jones, 12-yard pass to Sean Pell Kissin. Shout out to Sean Pell Kissin and his mom, Miss Sabi. I think I said that right. I always think I get that wrong, but shout out to them. Great group of people right there, always being supportive of their son, Sean Pell Kissin. Good to see him get a catch. He's been doing pretty good in practice as well. Jalen White also with a 25-yard run. So the scrimmage looks pretty good on both sides. The offense looked like they're a little tilted more from the defense. But at the end of the day, we have a situation where the team looks pretty good offensively. And we see some passing plays. One thing that we don't do as much at Georgia Southern is pass the ball. But for right now, look like that's going to be into the offense. So that's going to be really cool to see. And I cannot wait to see how that plays out. And hopefully we get that all squared away. As far as cleaning up on the passing game, because with our quarterbacks now, I think we'll be okay, because cleaning up the passing game is one thing that we were not very good at last year, and maybe we'll get that together, and I can't wait to see how that plays out. So there you go. Georgia Southern scrimmage went down yesterday in Statesboro, and sadly I was not able to catch that. Also, sadly, I was not able to go and see them play or see them practice today. I just was not able to make the trip. But nevertheless, I'm here giving you guys as much content as possible, give you my 2 cents on all things related football and gaming. Speaking of gaming, let's get into this last topic before I go. Let me give you some thoughts about Madden NFL 22. I like the game. I like the game a lot. I like it more than I thought I would. Played on my Twitch channel. You can check out all the content from my Twitch channel if you want to see what I did over there. But I will give you some insight on how I feel about the game. The game is really smooth. Yes, there are some wonky plays, some glitches, and some bugs. But as far as playing football, I really enjoy what I'm playing right now. I probably will be streaming the game some more later on today. But I love the animations. The animations look good. The passing game is actually more realistic. Not too many people talk about that. The passing game looks really good when it comes to incomplete passes, overthrows, underthrows, ball placement. That is something that has been worked on, and you can tell if you have been playing the game. Also, the running game is not lacking either. The running game looks pretty good. The running animations are nice. The tackling has been improved. I think if anything I want to expound upon is just the basic glitches. On the field, I don't have a problem with the game on the field. Yeah, there may be some zone logic that's maybe out of whack. But for the most part, everything played pretty much like I wanted to. It was not bad at all. Quarterback pressure really counts. If you pressure the quarterback, they're going to panic. And if they panic, you're probably going to be able to get an interception. Or at a minimum, you're going to force an incomplete pass. You know, at one point, it wasn't always like that. I mean, it was a lot going on with the game where it was set up for the AI to just do what they want to do. Now they're doing things because they really don't have a choice. You know, they don't have a choice to do the most logic thing possible. So therefore, the game itself is pretty cool. You know, so I just think at the end of the day, if they don't do anything to touch the game and don't do anything out of whack, I think it's going to be a solid game. I don't know if anybody wants to do this. If you want to, the number's down at the bottom, 803-767-4242. If you want to call in, this is a good time to do so now. You can give me your thoughts about what you've seen this weekend, what's your thoughts about Madden, whatever the case may be. This is be a good time to call in. The number, once again, is 803-767-4242. Also, this podcast, this show will be on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud. It's going to be Anchor, I don't think it's on Stitcher yet. It's going to be on Spotify. So if you want to watch or if you want to listen to this at your own leisure, that's where it's going to be. So if you want to listen and be your own program director, that's a good way to go about it. You can actually listen to this throughout the entire week. Also, I like the franchise mode. Franchise mode looks really good. The UI looks very intuitive. A lot of things you could do off the field that actually gives you a sense of actually building a team. It's something that's been long overdue, and they finally got it in, and they said they're going to be building on it. So I can't wait to see how this plays out, because I want to see this actually get this franchise mode where it needs to be, because it's been lacking for over a decade. It's been really, really bad when it comes to actually playing franchise mode and doing all this other stuff. It's just been something that could have been avoided if they would have just listened to the customer. And, to their credit, now they're listening, and the gameplay on the field is actually pretty good. So I'm here for it. I like what they bring to the table. I have no quarrels with what's going on with Madden so far. Like I said, as far as the bugs, I had an interception that was just way out of whack. You can see that on my Twitch channel as well. Also, if you wanted to see as far as the UI, the kicking UI is missing. It goes away sometimes if you have a situation to where you don't have the kicking meter. You're going to have to pause the game and unpause it. It pops back up. But that's what happened to me earlier as well. So, for the most part, Madden, I give it a solid 8 as an impression. That's not necessarily a rating of the game. Out of 8 out of 10, I walked away with the 8, like thinking, okay, this game is all right. And it's just a shame that a lot of people don't necessarily want to give this game the little bit of props it deserves. Everybody think it should be way up here on the high echelon of games, and I get it, because it's the only football game in town. But after all this time, you know what you're getting into when you play Madden at this point. You know what you're getting into. So it's no reason to think that it's going to change, or this, that, and the third is going to happen. It is what it is. Madden's going to be Madden, and with that being said, it's okay. It's all right if Madden's going to be the way it is. So I personally just feel that the game is all right. It's in a good space. It could be better, but it's in a good space. So, with that being said, I'm okay with what's going on here. I'm definitely okay with it, and hopefully that they will build on that and are able to make it better, make it much better. April Thomas comes in with in the chat, said, do I think the Atlanta Falcons need to cut the backup quarterback AJ McCarron? Right now, no. I don't think they need to cut him just yet. You still got 2 more preseason games. You still have a lot to go. You still got a lot ways to go before you make that decision. But if they do cut him, I would not be against it. But I think it's just too early, because the factor behind that is, you have to see what the offensive line did. The offensive line really didn't give him any help as far as trying to they really didn't give him any help as far as trying to sit in the pocket and throw the ball. They didn't do too much to help him. He was running for his life, especially on that right side. But is that an indictment on that AJ McCarron could be better? No, I think he's just a bona fide backup. And as of right now, I don't think it's time to cut him just yet. But like I said, if they do cut him, I would not be opposed to it. I like what Felipe Franks did. I think Felipe Franks could easily be quarterback number 2. As far as AJ McCarron being quarterback number 3 or cut, I'm okay with that. I don't have I don't see a big deal either way. But I don't think you should cut him right now off of what you saw in game 1. Because, like I said, there's other factors in between that. The offensive line did not help him. I don't care who was back there throwing the ball. At the end of the day, everybody was going to look bad back there. Everybody was going to look bad when it comes to the way the offensive line played. It's just, that's just a given. So, I don't know as far as cutting them right away. I'm not opposed to it if they do. But right now, I can see that I'll say 50-50 was not his fault the way how bad he played. 50-50 was not his fault. Like I said, if you want to call in, anybody want to call in, you can call in. The number is 803-767-4242. Also, you can hit me up on Skype. If you are on Skype, just go into Skype. The email is virtualfootball@gmail.com. You can go there and you can meet up with me on Skype and we could talk through that way. Either way is fine. If not, that's cool too, because I'm pretty much out of all the topics that I talked about. Good question right there by Miss April Thomas. And that was a pretty good question, because a lot of people are looking into getting rid of A.J. McCarron. A lot of people getting into getting rid of a bit of people. Some people are not as high on Jalen Mayfield as they thought they would be. As far as defensively, Chris Williamson's another one. He got lit up a couple of times on the plays as well. So it wasn't a good look for those two guys. I like the front seven. Front seven looked pretty good. The running game was so-so, even though that the offensive line did not help much. The running game was just so-so. A couple of 8-yard runs. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, it would look good. Couple of carries for pretty decent. Caleb Huntley did okay. A.J. McCarron, he had to run for his life. Donta Foreman could have done better. 3 carries for 10 yards. Not too bad, but hey, at the end of the day, it's just one game. Just goes for all these teams, and we'll see how things play out. I do expect probably McCarron to go back out there again and play first, but I do want to see more Felipe Franks. With him running the ball, and if he can get the receivers to catch the ball, we may have something there. So with that being said, I think everything's going to be all right. Once again, if you guys want to call in, you can. If not, I will start out with the outro, and don't want to hold anybody up. I do appreciate everybody who came here to watch this show. I do the show every Sunday around 10:30. Try to get this thing going. Trying to be a pregame show. I also throughout the week do recorded videos. You guys can go check those out as well on the YouTube channel, First and Frame Rates. And this show will be up on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify. It's going to be on all of your platforms, Anchor. It's going to be on all those platforms for you guys to check out and listen over there at your own convenience. You don't have to actually wait for me to go live or come back to the YouTube channel to actually listen to this. Like I said, all on your platforms that you want to listen to your podcast, this show will be on there. So that's pretty much going to be it for me. If you guys got any questions, put them in the chat real quick. If you want to call in real quick. If not, I'm going to be up out of here. This episode, once again, is episode 236 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. We talked about the Atlanta Falcons. We did a little bit of recap of the preseason. Also, we did Georgia Southern scrimmage, talked about how well those guys did offensively and defensively. And I gave my thoughts about Madden NFL 22. I think this game is pretty decent. I like the game for what it is. And I'm going to be streaming much more of it. I definitely am. And I think that you guys can come over there to the Twitch channel. I will be streaming probably later on today. I do have to run a few errands, but when I get back, I'll be right here in the studio to stream once again. So, no, guys, don't have any more questions. I don't see any. Nobody's calling in. All right, well, I guess that's going to be it for me. You guys be safe. Thank you guys once again for watching. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Share this show. Share this channel. Let people know what I'm doing over here, because for the most part, I'm talking Falcons. I'm talking Georgia Southern. I'm talking a little bit of Madden and other games that are out there. I'll probably put on the show. Put on the channel as well. I recently did a showcase of NBA Live 96 where I showed the somewhat of an unboxing. I rated the package of the clamshell and the game itself. So you guys can check all that out. I'm going to get up out of here. You guys be easy. I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys be blessed. Peace.